Hi guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to play the Star Wars Imperial Assault Legends of the Alliance app. It's a play-along app that you can use to, you have to have the basic game also, but we're going to be going over how to play it, how to set it up, everything you need. Really you just need the core set to get started. Even if you have never played Imperial Assault before, you can still play this. It's got a tutorial. We're going to go over all of it. I also want to remind you guys to make sure you subscribe and click the little bell for alerts because I have giveaways running all the time right now. Only thing you need to do to enter to win a giveaway is to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. And currently it's a $20 gift card to Cool Stuff, so you can get an expansion of your choice, which is perfect for a game like this. So let's just dive right in and take a closer look at the setup. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do is load up your app. Now this is available on mobile devices as well as on Steam. We're going to go ahead and go to collection. Is the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to go ahead and select all of the different things you've got. So if you don't have something, you can remove it from the collection if you accidentally added it, but you will need, well, you don't want to remove the core game because you do need that. So you won't let you remove the core game, but you want to go through and add everything that you have because it will include different things that you've got. Now I have everything except for Ahsoka right now, but when I get her I can go ahead and say add to collection, then it'll bring me up to 100%. But for now, we don't want to go ahead and include Ahsoka cards. And this will take you a while because you have to go through all the pages. There are a lot of expansion packs, but the most important thing right now is just to start out with the core game. And then you can go ahead and select new game. Now for this one I'm going to do the very new basic training game here, which is the Legends of the Alliance tutorial. And we're just going to run through the first mission and kind of walk you through how this is going to work and some of the differences from actually playing the normal campaign. We're going to select a save slot, and we're going to say we have not played Imperial Assault before, and we'll say 4. Now you can play this with up to 4 people, but you don't necessarily have to. I'm playing by myself, but I'm going to control all 4 people. And for this one, it tells you which 4 heroes to use. These are 4 heroes from the core set. And it wants you to click in here and select a name. And we're going to name this Lightsaber Nunchucks. There we go. All right. Lightsaber Nunchucks are a go. And so it gives us a little bit of thematics. From within the secret rebel base on Yavin 4, you listen anxiously as the pilots of red and gold squadrons face down the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star. You cheer with joyful relief when Luke Skywalker destroys the Imperial installation with a single shot. You stand at grateful attention as Princess Leia Organa presents Skywalker and Han Solo, but not Chewbacca, with awards for their meritorious service. Yet, the ceremony has hardly finished when Rebel Command orders a full evacuation of the Yavin 4 base. You help load the transports, uncertain how long you have, until the Empire arrives. And so you'll just go ahead and follow basically all of the prompts. And this will give some advice, some guidance to people who have never played the game before. And it's going to tell you a little bit about what happens here in this game. I invite you to play along with me. You can pause this video and set it up and follow along with me. I have down here, I have my actual setup. So I'm going to have the physical game going along with the app, and this is kind of how you're supposed to run it. So if you are running it on a phone, you can set the phone up like on the table and have everybody watch, it's a little hard to run on a small phone, so it works better on a tablet or on a PC or a laptop that's nearby if you have it on Steam. Now, we're going to, it helps if you've read the Imperial Assault rules and you know the basic rules on how to play, but there's some things that are going to be slightly different here. You do have some different tools down here where you can review mission briefings, you can check your character stats, how much experience and gear that you've bought, and all of that sort of thing. You have all of that now. Which is nice. It's a nice way to track stuff, so you don't have to record everything. And it also gives you some italicized text that's going to be useful just for story, and then the regular text is important as well because that's going to tell you exactly what you need to do. So one of the things you're going to do is you're going to grab all your tiles out of the core game. They're numbered right here in the corners, and one side is going to be the A side, and the other side is going to be a B side. So if you see like you have a 2A, but you need 2B, you just flip it over. And then I've connected these 2 right here, and then I'm going to put a door right there because it's going to tell us to do that right here. See, I got ahead of myself just a little bit. So place 2A and 18A and 1 door on the tables as indicated. Now, if you notice there's a little stormtrooper helmet before 2A, And we can see right here is where on there it will be. And it's very nice that it's very clear on which is numbered what. Now the Stormtrooper helmet just means it's from the core set. You know, they can, if there's a different symbol there, it'll relate to which expansion it comes out of. And so we're gonna, now you assemble this door, it's going to look like so, and then a piece of cardboard, and that just goes right in there. And that it basically blocks what's beyond. So one difference in this game is that your heroes aren't necessarily going to know what's beyond the door until they open it. And so because the app knows, it can conceal these things from you and make it a little bit more thematic. And you can also zoom in and out. I'm using my mouse wheel to do that, so that's kind of cool. And you can drag and move the map around for really large maps, which is very, very cool. All right, so now normally it will, when you get more experience with it, it's going to give you a certain area. You just need to spawn in a certain corner and you get a little bit more flexibility. But for here, it's going to tell you to put characters in a very specific place. Now, if you've just bought the core set, your figures won't be painted, but mine are, although you really can't see. I'm not really trying to show off paint jobs here. I'm just trying to get the game started. So we're going to place Jin right there. All right, now I'm going to place Garkin right next to Jin. Okay, and then we're going to place Fen right next to Garkin. There he is. And we're going to place Gideon right next to Fen. All right, and also when you, in each player who's going to play, you're going to give them the hero sheet that goes along to correspond to that character. They also get one of these little tokens that indicates if you've activated already. You kind of flip your token over, and this is going to have all your stats like your health, your endurance, your speed, and all sorts of things like that. And that's going to be somebody's basically their character sheet. And if you get wounded, you flip it over. But we're not going to really get wounded in this. This is just a general tutorial, kind of teaching you the basics of it. All right. So the next thing. At attention, soldiers! A voice calls out. A uniformed human stands at the top of a set of stone stairs looking down over you. My name is Corporal Kish, and I'm here to get you into fighting shape. The Alliance needs all the fighters it can get if we're ever going to overthrow the Empire. Place a Rebel Trooper token on the indicated space. This Rebel Trooper is Corporal Kish. So you should have a whole bunch of cardboard cutouts, and they're going to look something like this. And it'll have a picture of a Rebel Trooper, or if you have more of the game, you may have bought a Rebel Trooper miniature themselves. So I'm just going to use the Rebel Trooper miniature in here because as I have bought minis, I've kind of gotten rid of the cardboard tokens. So that's going to be Corporal Kish. All right. And also we want to get his card as well, at the gray version of a Rebel Trooper, and this has his stats as well. For example, his health and his speed, his attack and surge abilities, and all of that sort of thing. All right, place the gray Rebel Trooper deployment card, red back with the Rebel. Oh, the red card with the back with the Rebel. Okay, so I grabbed the wrong one. I need the red version of this, but you're gonna have two versions. You're gonna have a gray and a red. I grabbed the gray, but you're gonna want the red one. All right, now normally allies will be under the player's control, but for purposes of this tutorial, the app will tell you what to do with Corporal Kish. And that's another thing that's really cool about this app is it can control NPCs and it can do all of this stuff for you, and that's very, very cool. And it can have them speak to you if they want. Now, missions are divided into a number of rounds. You're going to be able to click on the characters up here when each person goes, and then it'll go on to another round. We're going to keep clicking continue. You get 2 actions for each figure's activation, and they can do the same action twice if they want, only in the campaign, not in other modes. So if you're running a skirmish, you can't necessarily attack twice, but the heroes in a campaign can attack twice. That's one of the interesting things. Let's get moving, Kish says. We've got some combat training to do. Corporal Kish will activate first. So basically, the first thing you want him to do is to move. And when you do a move, you get 4 movement points. He's going to get 4 movement points. And this tutorial is going to talk to you a little bit about like these red lines here that you can't move through, but you can see through, and you can't cross those. So it's basically going to have him move a certain number of places. And in here we're talking about terrain. Like this hard red line is like basically a raised piece of terrain. The black borders you can't go across. The red dotted lines are basically you can see but you can't walk. And the idea here is that he's at the top of stairs, going to walk down the stairs. So he's got to walk up this way. So right here, he's got to go that way. So he's going to do his 1, 2, 3, and you can move diagonally. Now, if you'll notice, if I do this here, 1, 2, 3, he moved right through Diala. Now, you can move through figures. You just can't end your turn in the same space as another figure. If they're friendly figures, it's fine. If they're hostile figures, it costs you an extra movement point. So it would have been 1. I would have needed 1, 2, 3, 4. I would have needed an extra movement space. But I only spent 3 of my 4 movement. I've got 4 movement I can do. But I have another action. And so they're going to tell you that you can open this door with another action using the interact action. And so basically the way this works is you can click on the door and it's going to give you the option if you want to open it. And to open it, you're going to go ahead and select interact on the board. And then when we do that, it reveals all the rest. So we're going to pick up the door off of here. And I have actually taken the liberty of pre-assembling the rest of the board. And we're going to go ahead and try to get it together there. And there is the rest of the board. Now, normally you'd pause the game and you'd grab all the pieces and stuff. And it also, for a game like this, it helps if you do sort your pieces by number. Like I have like 1 through 10 in a bag, and then 11 through 20 in a bag, and or things like that. And it helps make finding the piece you need that much easier, because that is a thing that can definitely take some time. So, Corporal Kish pushes the ancient metal gate open to reveal the lush, dense jungle beyond. And we're going to place all of those on the map. All right, and then the 2 in parentheses here means we'll be using 2 of them, etc. So, and now we're going to place some crates on the board, place them as shown. Now, the game is showing you 3-dimensional crates. However, our crates are just tokens. These are what come in the game. So we're going to go ahead and place them exactly where they're instructing you to place them. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so now we've got our crates right here, and those are apparently our gear, which is nice. Corporal Kish steps through the gate and motions for you to follow him. Remember, he only used 3 of his 4 movement points, so he's got 1 more movement point, and he'll go there, and he's just kind of getting out of the way. All right, just make sure you follow along with what it's telling you to do. He's taken 2 actions, a move and an interact, spent all of his movement points, so now he's complete. And when they're done, we can go ahead and click on him. And then it's telling you a little bit if you're running fewer than 4 heroes. So now we'll click on him, or push on him if it's a mobile device. We'll click right there. And if he's defeated, we go there. But here we're going to click on End Rebel Troopers Activation. Now he's noticed that he's kind of blued out. That means he's already activated. So he is done for this round. Now they want us to go ahead and grab our gear. And we can use these crates the same way we would use a door with the interact action. So for example, I can click on this and interact. But I'm not there yet. I can't do it yet. This game does require the honor system. So I'm going to hit cancel. We're not going to do that yet. So now it's time for me to play the game, right? And let's say I'm going to go ahead and go with Jin first, right? Now she has a speed of 5. So the first thing she's going to do is a movement action. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, no, she'll stop right here with 4. She'll actually have 1 more movement point. She'll have 1 more movement point. We'll leave her there. And she'll go ahead and interact. She'll pick up this crate. And so now I'll click on the crate on the board and say interact. All right. And so I'm going to pick it up off the board and it says, you open the crate and find a blaster pistol inside. The player for Jin Odan searches Jin's class cards. And we're going to show you what these class cards are. You should have a whole bunch of little mini decks, cards like this. And they're all going to have Jin's face on them. And you're going to have those for every character. Like here's Garkin's. You want those nearby because you're going to spend experience on things like that. And we're going to pull out the Vintage Blaster, which is this one right here. Now, in a normal campaign, this is starting equipment. We're going to pull out her Vintage Blaster. She's got 2 green attack on there. So now she's packing. She's packing heat. She's ready to go. Now she still had one. All right, she interacts with the crate and it's removed from the map, so now it disappears from there. It says don't forget to click on her portrait to end her turn, but she's still got one more movement point, so I'm going to move her this way. Okay, so that's where she ends. Now, if you'll notice, the game is not tracking where Jin is. That's on you. It's on the honor system. You've got to track where they are and be faithful to it, and that's part of the game. So now that she's moved, I will go ahead and say end her activation. Now, if there were enemies on the board, it would tell you what to do and to activate an enemy, and it'll give you, it'll tell you, oh, they need to move to try to shoot somebody, and if they can't do that, then they need to move towards this or towards that, and it'll tell you what they need to do. But I'm going to move this around a little bit, zoom in, there we go. But since it's not doing that, we're going to go ahead and activate somebody else. There's no enemies. Well, I don't want to activate Garkin. I don't want to end his activation yet. Now let's look at Garkin's card. Garkin has a speed of 4. If you've got Garkin in front of you, he's got a speed of 4, so he'll go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, and he'll move there, 4. You can move diagonally, and diagonal still counts. Now he is on the map. He's actually right here, which corresponds here, and he's going to go ahead and claim this token. I'll pick it up, and then we'll click on it and say interact. And this one's Garkin's. Now, it seems to be, basically all 4 of these crates are going to be the starting weapon for each of your characters. They're going to be in those hero decks, so you're going to go through those and pull out the starting weapon. Each one will have it, and Garkin will get the Vibro Axe. And I'm going to go ahead and put that next to his card. And we are good there. So, the Vibro Axe is a red and a yellow, so it's a nice little weapon. And we're just going to keep going, and Garkin is now done. So I'll end him, and now we'll go ahead and activate Fen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fen has a movement of 4, and he go ahead and picks that one up. And they've certainly aligned these the way they were. And he's going to get his infantry rifle. Let's go ahead and pull that out. And Fen's infantry rifle is right here. And we're going to go ahead and set that next to Fen. Fen is now done, because don't forget the interact is one of your 2 actions. So we move and interact. And then last but not least is Gideon. Gideon has a speed of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to go there, and he'll take this last token, and we'll click here to interact that token is gone. And one of the things that's great is, and we're getting Gideon's weapon as well, is that when you're playing this and you do open crates, you don't have to shuffle your deck for, there's Gideon's weapon. You don't have to shuffle that. It's just there's less card management since it's taking care of all of this for you. All right, so the game is going to tell you something now since you collected it. Having collected your gear, you head out to the combat range. Objective updated. 2 of 3 objectives. Perform activations until each hero occupies the space indicated for that hero in the app. When a hero is in its assigned spot, select its portrait on the map to inform the app. Okay. Note that these spaces contain difficult terrain. So the blue line there means it's difficult terrain. It takes 2 movement points to enter a blue space as opposed to 1. Now Gideon is done, so we're going to end our turn. Round 2. All right. Corporal Kish takes off at a jog through the jungle. He will activate next. He performs 2 move actions. So he's going to do both move actions back to back. That's going to get him 8 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Notice, and then the blue was 2 points because he had to move into a blue. So stepping into the water. Getting out of the water is fine, but getting into the water costs 2 too. And it's just telling you all this stuff. It's kind of teaching you the game as you go along. And since he's done, we're going to go ahead and end his turn. But before I do that, let's actually move it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? That looks about right to me. No, he's here. I think I did. I counted it slightly wrong, but there he is. Okay. All right. He's in the right spot now. End it, since it wanted him to go exactly there. All right, so now it's on to me. I have to basically get all of my characters over here. We'll go ahead and go with Gideon first, since he is all the way in the back. So Gideon's going to go ahead and do 2 move actions as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So I'll mark Gideon as being done. And I mentioned these tokens before that we use in the campaign. You really don't need to use those because you're tracking them in the app. So it's even more stuff that you just don't even need, you know, and that you don't need to use from the campaign. It just makes it a lot cleaner and a lot easier. So I really like that. So Gideon's done. Now, if Gideon had reached his spot, I would have selected that he was there. Next, we'll go with Fen, who's going to do 2 move actions. And he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fen is not quite where he needs to be yet, so we'll end his activation. We'll go with Garkin. Garkin will go ahead, and he's also got a speed of 4. The only one that has a speed of 5 is Jin. She is super fast. Garkin will go ahead and do 2 moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's right in the middle there, and that's not. He's in. Oh, he's in Gideon's spot. Ha ha. All right. And then Jin will go ahead and go, and she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And is that the right spot? No, I think she needs to be the next one down. She needs to be here. So she'll take 1 more move action. All right. So now that she's there, we're going to click that. She is in that space. She's got 4 more movement points. But I think she has to stay there. So we'll go ahead and end her activation. All right. Next round, we're going to go ahead and go. And let's go ahead and first we'll start with Garkin. He'll move into his spot. And that's all he needs to do. Fen will go ahead and move down to here. We definitely have enough points to move it all. And everybody where they need to be. So Fen's in his spot. Garkin's in his spot. And Gideon is in his spot. Oh, and she should be here, actually. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, don't forget to, when you move them, don't forget to end their activation. Place 1 terminal, as indicated, right here. All right, so I'm going to place it on the ground. This is just the terminal cardboard that you get. All right, so we've placed that. And I'm going to move this board around a little bit so we can kind of see a little bit better. All right, so the terminal requires repairs. And Jin is good with technology. So if you'll notice, characters have certain attributes at the bottom here. And Jin's technology, she gets 3 different dice that she can roll, and these color symbols represent how many dice they're going to roll. Jin gets to roll 3 different colored dice, and so the more dice you roll, the more chances for success. Because normally you're doing an attribute test, you're trying to get one of these surge lightning bolts, and you only need 1 typically. But in this app, it can actually allow you to require more than 1, but it never tells you. So it wants Jin to do an Jin Odin to do a tech test. And so she's going to gather 3 dice. And we're going to roll these dice. We're going to roll them right here for you. So we got 2 surge. And so we're just going to count the number of surges that we get. And it wants us to enter that in. So I'm going to click up, and confirm. You open up the terminal and quickly find the source of the problem. After a quick bypass, you close up the terminal and flip a switch, bringing the machine back to life. Nice job, Corporal Kish says. And then all of a sudden, boom, we've got some remotes, some training remotes that are going to show up all over the board, and I have to place 6 neutral mission tokens as indicated. Mission tokens are these round discs that I've got right here, so we're going to go ahead and place them. Right here. 1, 2. And get these off here. 3, 4. Whoops. There should be white side up there. And then 5. And then 6. All right. So we've placed all of our tokens, which is lovely. And now this is going to be, we're going to give us another thing. Now mission tokens can be just about anything. They're used just to basically specify something on an objective. We'll use these remotes for target practice, Kish says. Allow me to demonstrate. He pulls out his blaster pistol. Corporal Kish now activates and wants to perform an attack. He has a ranged attack, which is indicated by the blaster icon on the bottom right corner of his Rebel Trooper card. To perform a ranged attack, he must have line of sight. So this is going to explain. Basically, you have to have line of sight from one corner of your figure to two different corners of the enemy, and it can't go through another figure, and it can't go through like black lines. So because that's going through figures, he doesn't have it, and they're just illustrating it, and and he doesn't have it there. But here he has line of sight to that guy and to that guy, so he can see those. So he wants to perform a move action to get a little closer because your numbers have to have the range there. And he's going to go ahead and roll a blue and a yellow. Well, all right, so let's move him as indicated. Boom, boom. Right there. And, all right, now that he still has line of sight to the remote in his new space, roll the attack dice shown. It's a blue and a yellow to perform his attack now. So we're going to go ahead and roll it. And we rolled. So basically what this means is that we count the numbers. 4 and 1 is 5. So that means this shot could hit something that was up to 5 spaces away. That's for our accuracy. And then the damage symbols represent how much damage. And then surge can trigger surge abilities that will be represented on the card. They'll have a little lightning bolt with a colon, and it might be like surge for an extra damage or surge for accuracy and things like that. But we're not. It doesn't want you to use those right now, so we just rolled 3 damage. Okay, so we'll continue. Now add up the numbers on the attack dice. Well, we have 3, 1, 2, and 3. It's actually a pretty good attack, a pretty good roll. If their accuracy is at least 2, then the attack hits because it's 2 spaces away. Now we did get that. That's no problem. It is possible to not roll any accuracy, like this yellow one. The yellow side right here has no numbers on it, but that's not what we rolled. We rolled that. So yes, so the attack does hit. We had the damage, and then we have 3. Now, one of the things that we're going to do is we use, this is where damage tokens come in. So damage tokens are going to look like this. And if you get enough of them, you also have 5s. And so every time this guy takes damage, we're going to put a damage token next to it. And if it has at least 3, in which he did deal 3 damage, then that's actually enough to kill it because these tokens only have 3 health. So does it have at least 3 damage tokens yes to it? Yes, and it comes off. So he blew that up. No, discard that mission token. Okay, so he blew it up. You may have rolled 1 or more surge. Don't worry about it. We'll discuss them later. Yes. Garkin's Vibro Axe doesn't have the range. It has melee, and that's that symbol right there. And you have to be adjacent. So melee is easy. And now that you've seen how it's done, show me what you've got, Corporal Kish says, stepping back next to the terminal. Move Corporal Kish as indicated using his remaining points and end his activation in the app. Then perform attacks against the remotes until they are all defeated. All right. So they want us to move him back to in front of the terminal and then end his activation. So at this point, the app just wants us to go ahead and defeat all the rest of these things. So we're going to go ahead and go. Oh, no, we do have 2 guys that are already activated. So all we've got left is Gideon. No, everybody moved. Everybody moved. Gideon. Did Gideon move already? Well, we'll say Gideon didn't move. Gideon can go ahead and shoot. And Gideon's going to go ahead and attack this one. Actually, Gideon will attack this one right here. Because this one here in the app is hardest to hit. So what does Gideon have? He has a blue and a yellow. And he has the surge ability for Pierce 2, which if somebody had armor, he would pierce that armor. So we're going to roll a blue and a yellow. And we rolled 1 damage and a surge. Now you got the number's 4, so he's got the range. So he's going to do 1 damage to that one. Now Gideon's done. And basically you're just going to play this out and try to blow up all of these things. Now Jin, she'll go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4. And she'll attack that one. And she rolls a... what is Jin? She rolls 2 green. Okay. So we can get 2 green dice. I'm going to roll them. She rolled 2 damage. And this, can she surge? And she has surge for another damage. So she can convert that lightning bolt into a third damage. That kills that one. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy that one. All right, continue. So when you click on it, you'll say it's destroyed. It's going to come off. All right. And that's when it explains to you about surge. And so the rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to continue performing actions. She's done. Next turn, round 4, we'll start. And we'll go ahead and activate Garkin. No, actually, I want to activate Gideon first. So Gideon's going to shoot this one again. And he got 1 damage. So we'll put 1 more on there. And then he's going to shoot it 1 more time. And then he got 2 damage that time. So that one's going to blow up. There we go. And destroy. So Gideon. We're done taking out these remotes, the corporal says. I think you need a harder challenge. Let's see how you do with level 2 remotes. He flips a few switches on the panel and the remotes begin moving and rotating unpredictably. The remaining remotes now have a defense die, and that's going to, in this case, it's going to be the white defense die here. So now when we attack, we have to compare the defense die, and it explains how the triangle symbol cancels the damage, and then this other symbol here, the evade, cancels a surge, and then if you get the dodge, then that cancels the entire attack. So not nice, not nice. All right, so, and Pierce can block those symbols, so that's nice. So Pierce is good for that. All right, take out these new remotes, and then the corporal is interrupted by the chirping of his comlink. He listens to the device for a moment and then continues, that was the command center. I'm needed back at the base. Take out the remotes. I should be back by the time you're done. Remove Corporal Kish from the map and perform activations until you've defeated the rest of the remotes. So Corporal Kish gets pulled up by a tractor beam, and now we've got to destroy the rest of these guys. So Gideon just finished activating, so he is done. And now I will go ahead and keep going. Now, it's important to know that if you wanted to, you don't want to go too slow, because the longer that you wait in this app, the more bad things they can go ahead and do to you. So we do have some 3 things left. So we'll have Garkin go ahead and activate. He'll go 1, 2, 3. He'll go 1, 2 and attack this one. He's got 2 more movement points left. But Garkin gets to roll a yellow and a red. And the red die has the most damage symbols on it. So we're going to go ahead and roll Garkin's attack. Now he rolled 4 hits, but the die does get to roll a white die. Now the white die came up blank, so that's 4 damage to this thing. This one is gone. It's done. We'll go ahead and click on it. And we're going to remove it. Destroy. Yes, and it reminds you, don't forget to roll your white defense die. Okay. And, you know, and if these were stormtroopers, you would attack them the same way, but they would also get a chance to activate and shoot you back, and then you would roll your white or black defense dice as well. Black dice are a little better than white, although they don't have the dodge ability. So Garkin has 2 more movements, so he'll move up with his last 2 movement, and then he'll be done. And his activation. Now let's go ahead and go with Jin. She's right here. She actually can attack twice. She obviously has line of sight to here, but she also has line of sight to this one. So she might be able to hit them both. So let's go ahead and attack. She's going to roll 2 green with her blaster pistol. So first one, she's attacking the guy on right next to her. And she's going to roll 2 damage, and she's got a surge. Well, let's see what the defense is. Oh, that cancels a damage and a surge. So she only has 1 damage on this one. So for her next attack, I think she'll attack the same one. And she has 3 damage and a surge. That's nice. And, oh, but the thing rolls the dodge, so nothing to that one. So Jin is done. And we'll end that. And then Fen will go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he'll attack here. Now he has that distance 1, 2, 3. So he needs to make sure he rolls at least a 3. He's going to roll a blue and a green. He did roll 3 total because it's 2 plus 1, and he's got a damage and 2 surge, and he can surge for a damage, so he can have potentially potentially 2 damage. You can't use the same surge ability twice. So let's roll the white here, And we do cancel 1 damage, so it looks like only 1 damage is going to actually make it through to this guy as well. And that's where we're going to end, because then Fen will be done. And now we get to start one more time. Round 5. Let's start off with Fen. He's going to try and shoot this guy again. And we rolled 3 damage versus the throwing nothing, so that one kills this one. And then Fen can move up 1, 2, 3, 4. And get ready to shoot that thing again. And we'll mark Fen as being done. And then let's go with Jin. Since she's right next to this one, she wants to take care of that guy. And she gets a damage and 2 surge. And she is... she does have surge for damage. So that's going to basically negate this whole die. Because it cancels a damage and a surge. So she's still got range of 1. Well, she still gets the range for that one also. But she's going to roll basically 1 damage on it. This thing doesn't want to die. Well, she'll attack it one more time with her second action. And she's got 4 damage that time. And it rolls the dodge. So Jin is now done. She couldn't finish it off. Garkin is going to have to do it. Garkin will go 1, 2. He'll attack it with a red and a yellow. And he rolls, ooh, power die. So he's going to roll 4 damage and a surge. Let's see what this thing rolls. So it's going to knock out one of the damage and the surge, but still 3 more damage. That takes this guy off the board. Oh, I forgot to remove that one. Destroy that one. That one's gone, and now this one is gone. So we destroyed all of these. The remote explodes. Okay. The last remote is just exploding in a ball of sparks and a fire when a signal comes across all comlink channels. Alert, alert, Imperial forces have landed. Begin evacuation procedures immediately. You decide you had better get back to base. And that does it for the introductory mission, guys. This is teaching you how to play. You're going to be able to save here. You're going to have more missions you can choose from. You're going to be able to run your entire campaign from this. And I hope you guys really liked it. I think it's got a lot of potential. I think it's a lot of fun. And it allows you to play by yourself. It allows you to play with 2, 3, or even 4 players. And it's just so much more easier than having to manage running an actual campaign. So a lot of fun here. I hope you guys liked it a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.